Hi guys, my name's David Marshall. I'm the owner of Royal Docks CrossFit. This is one of my athletes, Sophia Smith, and today we're going to be taking you through a warm-up which is suitable for a high-intensity interval training style session. The main focuses that we're going to be looking at elevating our heart rate, we're going to be looking at increasing our core body temperature, and we're looking at improving mental awareness. It's always important that we warm up before we train, particularly for preventing injury. Let's get straight into it. So to start with, Sophia is going to grab the kettlebell with two hands. She's going to put her feet just outside hip width, and we're going to be going through a set of 10 kettlebell swings. She's going to be sending her hips back, popping the hips up, and finishing with the kettlebell at about eye level. The main principles here, we're looking for a fast hip extension, looking at recruiting the big muscles in the posterior chain, predominantly the glutes. She's trying to get a bit of a snapping action, trying to get that nervous system firing. Following that, just stick your kettlebell to one side here, Sophia. Following that, we're going to go through a little bit of a dynamic stretch. We're going to start with the overhead lunge. Sophia here is looking at tilting her pelvis forward to get that good stretch going down through her rear hip flexor. She's looking for a nice wide stance and, importantly, an upright torso. Once she gets to the cone, she's going to repeat that same action back to her starting line. Excellent. As she stands up through the lunge, she's focusing on driving through the heel of the front foot. This is going to be important for recruiting, again, those big muscles in the posterior chain. Once she gets back to the cone, she's going to flip the kettlebell upside down. She's going to place it below her chin, stacking her forearms and her elbows directly below the kettlebell. She's then adopting a same stance, and she's going to go through a set of 10 goblet squats. As with all squatting movements, she's looking at sending the hips back over the heels, chest elevated, knees out, again, focusing on those big muscles in the legs, predominantly in the posterior chain, through the glutes and hamstrings. As she stands, she's going to start thinking about standing with a little bit of a pop. Again, this is just to encourage the nervous system to flow effectively. Excellent. After that set, we're now going to go through a set of straight leg bear crawls. The focus here is looking at the hamstrings. She's going to move forward with one smooth movement, trying to touch her toes to her hands. Importantly, keeping the legs straight, hips high. This here is going to target the hamstrings. When she gets to the cone, she's going to stand. She's going to take a second before returning again with the same action on the way back. Beautiful. As with all these movements, we're always going to try and keep these as dynamic as possible. When we're looking at a HIIT style training session, we don't really want to be doing any static stretches. We want to keep it always dynamic. Excellent. When she gets back to the kettlebell, again, she's going to go two hands on the kettlebell handle, and she's going to go for another set of 10 kettlebell swings. With the kettlebell swing again, we're looking for fast hips. As you see, the pace is increasing slightly, which is good. As her mental awareness increases, body heat increases as well. Excellent, beautiful. Following that set of 10, the kettlebell goes down to the side again, and this time when we're looking at our dynamic stretch, we're going to be looking at a crocodile crawl. With the crocodile crawl, we're predominantly looking at a stretch through the front glute. Sophia is looking at getting her chest low. She's then going to crawl forward in transition. Excellent. She's trying to create one line with her hands and her front foot. As she goes through the reps, she's trying to get her front knee tracking ever so slightly further out, maintaining a flat foot at the front. As before, when she gets to the cone, she's going to take a second, compose herself, and then go again with her next rep. Off you go. With each rep, she's aiming to get that front knee tracking further out and trying to get her chest closer to the ground. It's important here that we hold for at least 2 or 3 seconds at the end of range to really encourage that stretch through that front glute. When she gets back to the kettlebell, she's going to finish now with a set of goblet squats before going into the final dynamic stretch. Again, with the goblet squat, she's looking at that upright torso, hips back, knees out. As she stands, she's driving through the heel. This way we're going to get good recruitment through the glutes and the hamstrings. This time she's looking to stand with a little bit of a pop, just to encourage that nervous system to start flowing. Excellent. With our final exercise now, we're going to look at the inchworm. With the inchworm, Sophia's going to keep her legs locked out straight. She's going to have fast hands out in front of her. She's then going to perform a push-up, trying to get her chest as close to the ground as possible. From there, she's going to leave her hands in position as she walks her feet up towards her hands. Let's have a look. Fast hands out, fast push-up, fast feet to her hands, hips raised. Again, trying to keep the legs straight so we get that good dynamic hamstring stretch. Perfect. Again, when we get to the line, she's going to stand, compose herself, and then return with the same action. This is also good for encouraging any pressing actions that you might have in your warm-up. Perfect. And stand. Perfect. Guys, That should be sufficient if you're looking for a high intensity interval style training session, otherwise known as a HIIT session. In that session there, we should have elevated the heart rate, increased mental awareness, and most importantly, there's now a decreased chance of injury in your session. Tune in next time for our next video.